I'm Troy Kirby with a quick look at the 2022 Washington State legislative session. The House floor debated Substitute Senate Bill 5883, which concerns homeless youth's ability to provide conformed consent for health care and other elective surgeries.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know of any youth that wants to be alone. All the youth that I work with, and I have worked with many, they yearn for a family. All the workers that I know and the adults that have come around them want that reunification. But unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, we know that's not always possible. Mr. Speaker, in our system right now, if you are a child in need and you don't qualify for foster care or services from the department, you have to file a CHIN petition in order to get services. Mr. Speaker, it takes months to get those services.
Historically, I've actually put forward legislation to help support homeless youth getting access to medical services. And my logic behind that is that I remember when I was a teenager and I ran away, I still needed access to medical care. And we all know that the foster care system, it's awful. And it's even worse for kids who are teenagers. However, if we have a child who is 8 years old and is homeless, at that point, we have to ask ourselves, why isn't DCYF getting involved? Why aren't we providing services and support for that family and helping that child get stability?
This bill is about houseless youth. And the reason that we're referring to minors is because we want to make sure that no matter what age a youth finds themselves houseless, that they can still access basic medical care. And we do not want to limit that access.
You know, there's lots of times when, in fact, most of the time, the bills that are presented to us make sense to me. This is one of those times that it doesn't make sense to me. All this amendment is going to do is change the minor to ages 14 to 17. I just can't see where a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, or 11-year-old will gain access, unaccompanied, mind you, gain access to the services that are listed here. Where is that open door for them? Do they go to the office and knock on the doctor's door to get glasses or to get hearing aids?
You know, we're talking about just putting some sideboards up, I guess, on ages so we can kind of give this a try and see if it would work. We talk a lot about brain development and in the committees that I'm in, and you know, we talk that the brain is not fully developed until a person is, you know, somewhere around the age of 25. So, but yet now we're willing to say that if you're an unaccompanied homeless youth, is what it says, and you're you know, under the age of 18, anytime all the way down to whenever you may have become homeless, whether you're 7 or 8 or 10 or 13 or whatever, that you can actually go in and request some medical treatment.
Law enforcement is not always available was one of the comments, and indeed the point of this is that a young person does not often have, who is homeless, does not have access to trusted adults in their lives at that moment, and so that is not available to them. In addition, if we require a young person to get documentation, that's a very specific reason why they may not be able to leave a predator, leave a pimp, or leave a situation because they are forced to be under the control of somebody.
I appreciate the amendments that are affiliated with this bill today that were accepted, and I appreciate the good conversation that we've had on both sides of the aisle about this issue. I'm sadly heartbroken to have to rise asking for a no vote on this bill today. There are some good amendments that weren't accepted that could have absolutely made this a better bill, but unfortunately they were not. And Mr. Speaker, there are two sides of this issue. We, as I've said earlier, have a problem with trafficking, but we also have a problem with children being sexually abused, whether it's inside the home, whether it's outside the home, if they are homeless. This is personal to me, Mr. Speaker.
The bill passed the House 5741 on March 3rd and had already passed the Senate 2821 on February 9th. The bill now goes to the governor's office for an opportunity to be signed into law. Thank you for watching the 2022 Washington State Legislative Session.